While we're looking at highlights of my brother Dougie, I would like to share a family story that as of this year marks 50 years. Now, when our family talks about the boat, we all know what we're talking about. It's the boat. We don't have to say anything else. Some of what I'm about to tell you are actually Doug's written words that he sent to me in April of this year. In 1975, Dad bought the boat, as we called it, from a farmer down the road. It was a 16-foot 1947 Chris Craft Special, nicknamed the Rocket. Jeff was 15, Doug 14, I was 9, Tommy was 3. We thought we had won the lottery. I mean, this was like a dream come true, that we'd have a boat, that we could go to Twin Lakes, go fishing, speeding around the lake, and hopefully go on water skiing. The only evidence of the original finish was under a hubcap that had been sitting on the boat at the farmer's house. Somehow Dad managed to get the engine running. He put water in the bottom of the boat for a couple weeks to seal the hull, and we were off to the lake. In Doug's words, it was a fun ride. It was a fun ride around the lake. It was even better when my older brother Jeff had to jump in the lake and swim us back to shore because it broke down. We literally worked on that boat for years. I mean, we were trying to sand it down and get the finish looking good, and Doug would work on the engine, and we'd all be sitting up there scraping and doing whatever we could to bring this baby back to life. After years of working on the boat, it came to a less than glorious ending because we were coming back from Twin Lakes, and the trailer came off the truck and boat went into the ditch. Dad was kind of mad, understandably, and this guy was driving by and to stop and help, and asked if Dad wanted to sell it. Well, in my memory, I thought he sold it for a case of beer, which was probably Pfeiffer's, and then a bottle of whiskey. Well, Doug said it was $200 in a bottle of whiskey, but either way, there was definitely whiskey involved. 20 years later, Doug finds the guy who sold the boat and buys it back from him. The guy had refinished the hull and the fiberglass bottom, but everything else was in boxes and the motor was seized. So Doug spent the next 2 years putting it all back together, piece by piece. New engine, made his own drive shaft, got it so that it was looking the way we thought it would look when we were growing up. Once he got it all done, he drove it up to Kreger, where Mom and Dad were living at the time, and surprised them with the boat. In Doug's words, "After finishing what I could do, I headed on the water a few times and gave my dad the best ride. Wide open, plowing through the water. It was fabulous. It was during that ride with Dad that the fiberglass bottom started coming off, and before the weekend was over, it nearly sank. I got to the landing just in time." Doug sold the boat in 2009 to work on the next project for Mom and Dad, and he sold it to an actual boat dude that specialized in refurbishing Chris Crafts and other wooden boats. 5 years later, he gets a call from the guy, the boat dude, and he says the boat's done. So Doug went over and looked at it with Zoe, and he took a bunch of pictures and sent it to me, and the guy did just a fantastic job. I mean, he took it down. He took every board off of the boat, took it down to whatever holds boats together, and put it all back together again. Well, this guy was asked by the Minneapolis Boat Show in 2014 to display it at the bottom of the escalator. So it's the first thing that they would see when they come to the show. That year, in 2014, there was a guy attending the show that was opening up a boat-themed restaurant in Florida, and just absolutely fell in love with the boat. So even though he wasn't there to sell the boat got sold to the Florida guy, and he took it down to Florida, Disney Springs, Florida. The boat is now proudly on display at a very high-end restaurant on the water in Disney Springs, Florida. Ironically enough, the name of the restaurant is called The Boat House, the Boathouse Restaurant. The Boathouse dude had the boat christened with the name Walt's Dream, where literally hundreds of thousands of people every year can enjoy the boat. From our dream as kids to Walt's dream at the Boathouse, the boat, has come a long way from being sold out of a ditch for $200 and a bottle of whiskey, all thanks to and inspired by Doug. If that wasn't enough, Doug's next project was Dad and Mom's first or favorite car, can't remember. It was a 1957 Oldsmobile Holiday. Seen here is Dad holding Doug in the trunk of their car in 1962, with Jeff right beside him and Mom in the front seat. After finding a shell to restore, Doug took it down to the last rivet and rebuilt an exact replica and gave it to Mom and Dad. Doug is truly the sweetest man I've ever known. We love you, Doug. May his life always be a blessing to those who loved him. Enjoy the last ride with him in what I consider to be his greatest work of art.
See you later.
Bye.